hard part is some people, they don't realize that they have culture problems. And I can't say, hey, you got culture problems, you need to fix it. So
why can't you say that?
It's like saying, hey, you're fat, you need to lose weight. I mean, essentially, it's offensive. They have to come to that realization. And, I can say that all day long, but until they're bought into it, the owner's not going to take my recommendations. And so a lot of times we have to start on something like diabetes or, implementing something into their workflow. And then when they ask, Susan, who's worked there for 35 years, to do something different in her day, and then she blows up, and then someone else blows up, and then they say, oh my gosh, I have culture problems. And then I can say, you don't say, let's work on that.
It's funny. We had, I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about, they weren't implementing a program at their store because one of their technicians had been there forever and she was cranky. And it was like, yeah, that's the problem. Not the fact that you can't implement that program, is that you won't do it because you have one person that's cranky, right?
Yeah, and I've lived that. I've lived that life where in the early days I was held hostage by a certain technician, and that happens a lot. That happens to a lot of pharmacists. They don't implement it. They don't want to overcome that, and that's one of the big reasons why I wanted to teach conflict management at NCPA this year, is because if you can work through that conflict, you can really get a lot farther with people. And I think that when we're diving into some of that conflict management and we're trying to learn a little bit more about employee engagement, pharmacists are nice people. And so they tend to be avoiders, and they tend to just pretend like nothing's wrong. And that doesn't always bode well for us. And, if we look now at how we can get people to show up, I mean, it's so fun for someone to come to me wanting to fire someone. And then we learn, the communication issue, or, someone's just not being heard. And then at the end of the day, the person wants to work there. They're doing a good job. And then the person who wanted to fire them can't believe that this happened. And I keep kind of when I'm having bad days, I keep kind of a collection of the text messages I get,
Nice.
And the other day I was looking through, and, one said, oh my gosh, this person just quit, and it was someone who was bossing them around. I taught them how to do one conversation with this person that would allow them to choose. And it wasn't a hear me roar, I am in charge. It was, let's get on the same page. Let's figure out what your desires really are. I want to tell you what my desires are for the future of this business, and how can we fit you into that puzzle. And they had one conversation with them, and it took 3 days, and the person turned in their notice and they left. I have another one that I was looking at that said, you're not going to believe this, but this person, when we were closing, they filled all the vial drawers and they put printer paper in the printer before we left, and they vacuumed the floor before I could get the alarm set. And, before, they wouldn't even show up to work on time. This is like magic here. What's going on?
Nice.
And it's just trying to figure out, what shows them they're valued. We're all human and we want to be seen.